So we were talking a bit about Skid Row or whatnot, and when you hear a new Skid Row album in 2022, you still want to hear a 1990 Skid Row album. Like you want to hear that classic sound. So Jason, when you approach Drowning Pool stuff, do you still go back to what Dave did and think about what he did, or is it just a clean slate for you every time? Do you try not to stray too far from maybe what he would have done?
It's always a clean slate. I think we're fortunate because Dave and I came from the same scene, cut our teeth on the same influences at the same time. So it makes sense there'd be likenesses. So I don't really have to think about what would Dave do at all.
Right.
Live, I've always made efforts to honor his legacy, and I don't, intentionally try to inject a lot of myself when I'm singing Dave's songs. But writing, it's natural, man. It's natural. We come from the same place, just like CJ and Steve and Mike and, Dave. We were all together in the same pot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. A little bit on Dave. I mean, the 20-year anniversary of his passing was just a few days ago as we record, and just the outpouring of my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everything else were just all these classic photos of Dave with fans and Dave on stage, and just even the big news outlets like Revolver and things like that were posting tributes to him, man. So how cool was that for you to see, CJ? I know you posted about him too that day.
Yeah, it was great to see all that stuff. I got to be honest, it is 20 years. It's a monumental time. It was a great friend. It was a great bandmate. It's how we got started. We got started with Dave. There was a big legacy that started at the time. It's, I was doing good all day long, but in the evening, it kind of started getting into the head a little bit, but all positive things, man. Like we had a great time. Dave was a great dude. He was, he wanted to be a singer in a rock band, and he grew up at the school of, Diamond, Vinny, and Pantera. Just, he was always out talking to fans. He was just always on the scene. He was at every show. That's how he got the name Dave Stage. He actually went on stage and, sang, dude, he just jumped on stage with everybody, bro. He Skid Row, and he sang with those dudes. He sang with everybody. And he did a lover of music. Very unfortunately, he passed away 30 years old, cardiomyopathy, heart disease. But here we are 20 years later, and knowing Dave and knowing his love for music, and knowing that we did shows together with Jason, like we all know each other. This is what Drowning Pool has, Drunken Fools have evolved into. With Jason, metal band, we're keeping it going, and I know he would be proud. Like I said, him and Don would be proud of us for doing this for sure, man. And we're doing that.
I just had Chris Ballinger of Flaw on the show. We did a live show here in town, and he messaged me the day that the 20th anniversary, and he said the toughest thing on him when Dave died was the fact that the Ozfest just kept going. Like there was no, the train didn't stop. It was just like the next day they had to play a show, and it was like the strangest thing and the hardest thing for him was just kind of keeping going on that tour.
Yeah, and the El Nino guys were on that. We're good friends of theirs. We just did a tour with them earlier this year. And Dave Shivari, they hung our banner. They flew it for the rest of the tour. They had the Drowning Pool center backdrop, which was really cool. Those guys. Everybody was it was a strange day for me. I don't talk about it much. I haven't really said much about it, but I didn't know what was going on at the time that happened. I was in my hotel room, was getting phone calls. I didn't know what was going on. So I'm walking through the hotel, and people are crying, hugging me, and I have no clue what's going on.
Right.
I walk outside, there's helicopters and there's police. And it wasn't until I got to the bus that I found out. So I didn't really think, you don't sit around and think about these things. But that one, kind of got me a little bit. But again, so many great stories. He did so many great things with Dave. He was a great guy. And, it's awesome that we pay homage to him. We play Bodies every night. We keep that going on. And here we are now doing our own thing. We got Jason and this new record coming out 20 years later. Same time, man. And it's you're going to get hit with some hard hitters, man. It's a jamming record, dude. We were like I said last night, we're in the room rocking them out, sweating. Wow. Love it.